Leon woke with the distinct sensation that his brain had spent the last hour doing cartwheels through a star field. Not polite, graceful cartwheels, more like the kind performed by someone who had never taken a gymnastics class and was relying entirely on hope. The psychic chamber's gentle hum returned, reminding him he was still inside a place far too advanced for any human manual to explain. A soft glow pulsed around him, sending waves of shifting colors through the air like auroras made of circuitry. Across from him, the princess stood steady, though her long ears twitched as if adjusting to a new frequency. She blinked at him with a mixture of confusion and awe, a rare expression for someone usually carved from royal composure. Leon tried to sit up, only to discover he'd been gently pinned by a floating restraint field that felt suspiciously like a warm blanket. "Is this normal?" he asked, wiggling one arm and coming dangerously close to slapping himself. "Not even remotely," she replied, stepping closer. "Your mind formed a bridge before I initiated it. Humans are not supposed to do that." Leon frowned. "To be fair, I'm not sure I'm supposed to do anything they put in the training manual." She let out a small breath, an exasperated yet affectionate sound. Her ears folded back for a heartbeat, then lifted again as she examined a hovering console. Strange glyphs flickered, rewriting themselves faster than Leon could track. He cautiously tested the restraint field again. "Should I stay still? Or is this one of those don't move or the universe explodes situations?" "The chamber is stabilizing your resonance," she said. "You can move, but perhaps avoid gestures that involve flailing." "Noted," Leon said, mentally crossing out 30% of his natural movement style. The princess waved her hand and the field released him. As he sat up, the floating conduits adjusted their positions, orbiting him slowly like curious metallic fish. One drifted too close and beeped. Leon beeped back instinctively. The conduit responded with another beep. The princess stared. "Are you communicating with the diagnostic node?" Leon shrugged. "I don't speak alien computer, but I think we reached an understanding." The node beeped approvingly. She studied him with growing concern and fascination. "Your neural signature is amplifying without external stimulus. That should be impossible. This chamber reacts only to minds with guardian resonance, and its output has tripled." Leon tried to keep his voice steady. "Okay, so guardian resonance. Is that the old extinct space elf paladin race?" "Not exactly," she said. "The Guardians were a sentient order, yes, but beyond physical form. They wove defenses into the fabric of star systems. Their minds could interface with cosmic fields. And now," she hesitated, ears dipping slightly, "now part of their code appears inside yours." Leon blinked. "So I'm carrying alien software. Great. I hope it doesn't need updates because Earth Wi-Fi is terrible." Her expression softened. "Does humor soothe fear for your species?" "Only the smart ones," he said. "The rest faint." She stepped closer, offering a hand to help him stand. Her fingers were cool, luminous at the edges, and Leon realized yet again that she was impossibly beautiful in a way that made his brain consider shutting down just to cope. He took her hand, steadying himself. Her ears perked as their palms touched. "There it is again, the pulse. It's like your mind is echoing a memory that isn't yours." Leon tried to picture that. "Maybe I sleepwalked into a cosmic library and forgot to return the book." "Or perhaps," she said, tapping a glowing panel, "the Guardians stored a fragment of themselves inside your species long before your people understood the stars." Leon processed that. He processed it more. Then he concluded processing was overrated. "That's a lot." "Yes," she paused. "Sit." He sat immediately, mostly because the floor looked safer than standing with so many floating objects hovering around. She activated the chamber's psycho-interface, and the walls shimmered outward into a projection of stars, swirling constellations, fractured maps, and fragments of strange spirals that responded to Leon's heartbeat. One cluster brightened whenever he inhaled, dimmed when he exhaled. Another ripple of symbols drifted down like falling snow, Aralai studied him again. You saw these star charts during the fusion, didn't you? I think so, he said, although I was distracted by possibly dying. You were never in danger, she assured him, which did not match the council's frantic screaming outside. But what you perceived, those charts are lost. No being alive has seen them for millennia. Leon watched a swirl of blue symbols align themselves above him. They look familiar, like déjà vu, but for galaxies. Your mind carried them, she murmured. It awakened them. And that means we need to understand why. Suddenly the chamber lights flickered, and a holographic notification spiraled into view. The council was trying to force entry, clearly panicking. Leon rubbed the back of his neck. Are we in trouble? He asked. Undoubtedly, she said. On a scale of 1 to intergalactic incident, how bad? She considered. Somewhere between scandal and catastrophic diplomatic chaos. Leon groaned. Good. Wouldn't want to start small. Her ears lifted in amusement. Come, we must face them, and you must try not to say anything that will worsen the situation. No promises, he said, following her toward the chamber doors. But I will attempt to limit accidental leadership gestures. You mean salutes? I mean any gesture. My arms do things on their own. She sighed softly, but her smile returned as the doors opened and the blinding lights of the council hall flooded in, along with the questions, accusations, and cosmic confusion waiting for them both. The council chamber reacted to Leon's entrance as if someone had thrown a fully armed comet through the doors. Lights flared. Holographic panels scrambled. Several diplomats made noises that were too dignified to be called screaming, but too panicked to be anything else. Leon instinctively lifted his hands in surrender, which unfortunately triggered a nearby console to project a rotating star map above his head. The map pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat. He lowered his hands. It pulsed faster. He froze. Please stop doing whatever that is, one counselor begged, clutching his chest. I'm not doing anything, Leon said quickly. My body just reacts to stress by accidentally activating alien technology. The princess stepped forward, her long ears raised in confidence even as the hall churned with confusion. Counselors, remain calm. The resonance you detected is not a malfunction. That is not comforting, an elder snapped. Why is a human, an untrained, unregistered junior human, projecting guardian frequencies? Explain how this is not an interspecies disaster. Leon attempted a reassuring smile. This made several delegates recoil. Aralai lifted a hand, silencing the room. During the psychic fusion, my mind detected an echo in his, a frequency identical to what our ancient archives describe as guardian architecture. Gasps ricocheted through the chamber. Leon wished the floor would do the polite thing and swallow him. I swear I'm ordinary, he said. Exceptionally ordinary. My biggest achievement before today was assembling an entire field ration heater without starting a fire. That was considered impressive. It wasn't, muttered his commander from behind him. Aralai continued, ignoring the murmurs. We must examine the implications carefully. One counselor, a towering figure with deep blue skin, leaned forward. Princess, you risked your mind connecting with a human carrying unknown code. What if this is a threat? Leon raised a hand timidly. To be clear, if I were a threat, I'm pretty sure I'd know, or I'd be doing something much cooler right now. A few diplomats flinched as the star map above him glitched into a brief display of spiraling fractal equations. Leon groaned softly. I didn't mean cooler as in activate ancient cosmic buttons. I meant, never mind. Princess Aralai stepped beside him, her presence calming the room by sheer authority. The Guardians were protectors, not destroyers. If their resonance lives within him, it may be a warning, not a weapon. The elder leaned heavily on his staff. A warning of what? I do not yet know, she admitted. But the fusion showed glimpses of star paths we believed eradicated, along with something dormant. Leon cleared his throat. The star charts felt familiar, not like memories. More like instincts, like remembering a password I never set. The princess nodded. His mind unlocked patterns without conscious effort, and when the chamber amplified the resonance, I felt something else, an activation signal. A wave of uneasy silence rolled across the room. The elder whispered, "Activation of what?" The princess hesitated for the first time. Her long ears lowered slightly, then lifted with resolve. "There is a failsafe embedded in my bloodline. A genetic echo we never fully decoded. It responds only to guardian frequency." Leon stared. "You have a built-in cosmic alarm system. Why does your genome have cooler features than mine?" Her lips twitched. "It was placed there thousands of years ago during our empire's formation. We believed it symbolic. Now, I suspect it is a countdown." Leon felt his stomach twist. "A countdown to what? Please don't say doom." "Every time someone says countdown, doom is usually nearby." "Not doom," she said softly. "Change, transformation, perhaps even collapse if left unmanaged." The council erupted into overlapping arguments, projections, warnings, accusations. Leon tried to follow but became distracted when one of the floating consoles drifted close to him and began scanning his face with a bright beam. He swatted at it gently. It swatted back. He glared. It blinked in offense. Aralai intervened, dispersing the holograms with a sharp gesture. "Enough! Panic clouds judgment. We must observe, study, and understand." "And the human?" asked the counselor. "What do we do with him?" Leon raised a tentative hand. "If possible, something involving snacks and low stress." "Isolation," another demanded. "Quarantine." "Dissection," someone else muttered, earning immediate glares. Aralai's voice sliced through them like a blade wrapped in velvet. "He remains with me." Leon blinked. "I what with you?" "He must," she said. "My resonance responds to his, and his presence triggered the failsafe. To separate us might destabilize the signal." Leon felt several soldiers behind him mutter jealous curses. One accidentally dropped a weapon. The elder sighed. "Princess, the political consequences are irrelevant," she said firmly. "This is about survival." She turned to Leon, offering her hand. "Come, we must continue the investigation privately, and please refrain from touching any walls. They react to you." "That makes two of us," Leon muttered, but he took her hand anyway. As they exited the chamber, the star map above him flickered, following like an excited pet before fading away. Leon exhaled shakily. "Princess," he whispered, "just out of curiosity, are we in trouble again?" She gave him a serene smile that did absolutely nothing to calm him. "Oh yes, but this time we face it together." Leon sighed. "Wonderful. I've always wanted to be part of a cosmic mystery, preferably one without explosions." Her ears lifted with quiet amusement. "I make no promises." And the palace doors sealed behind them, leaving the council to argue while the first threads of an ancient secret tightened around them both. Aralai led Leon through a quiet wing of the royal citadel, far from the agitated council, and even farther from anyone who might accidentally activate something by looking at him too long. The corridors glowed with soft streams of pale blue energy, flowing like liquid light along the walls. Leon kept his hands politely tucked behind his back, partly to seem respectful and partly to avoid touching absolutely anything. Experience had already proven he could trigger ancient alien functions simply by existing too enthusiastically. They entered a meditation chamber shaped like a gentle sphere, its interior layered with floating platforms. Some drifted lazily, others spun with slow grace, each emitting faint musical tones. Leon immediately disliked the spinning ones. He had the agility of a stunned giraffe and the balance of a refrigerator. "Please step onto the central platform," Aralai said. Leon eyed it warily. "Is it going to fling me into the ceiling?" "It will not," she assured him, then added, "probably." "That second word is doing a lot of work," Leon muttered, but he stepped onto the platform anyway. It dipped slightly beneath his weight, then rose again, supporting him in a comfortable hover. Aralai joined him, her long ears lifting as the platform adjusted their combined resonance. Symbols formed in the air around them, soft white curves, drifting in rhythmic spirals. Leon watched with fascination. "So this is alien meditation," he said. "Looks peaceful, elegant, very unlike the human kind where someone tells you to find your inner calm while a fly buzzes near your ear." Aralai smiled faintly. "This chamber strengthens mental clarity by aligning neural fields. It will help you access the guardian imprints inside you." "Great," Leon said. "Just what I always wanted, cosmic brain software." He closed his eyes as she instructed, trying to breathe slowly. He did quite well until a floating sphere drifted near his head and made a soft chime. His eyes snapped open. "Did something just boop me?" "It sensed elevated stress," Aralai said calmly. "That is normal." "Normal for who?" Leon asked. "People made of serenity." Another sphere approached, nuzzling his shoulder like a friendly cat. Then another. Soon 3 were orbiting him with protective energy pulses. Aralai's ears twitched in surprise. "They are reacting to you. They never do this." Leon sighed. "Of course they are. Everything reacts to me. Doors, star maps, psychic alarms. Eventually, a chair will probably ask for my autograph." He closed his eyes again, and this time, the spheres drifted slightly farther away, giving him space. Aralai stepped closer, her presence warm and steady. "Focus on the pulse you felt during the fusion," she said softly. "The rhythm that was not yours." Leon tried, and slowly beneath his own heartbeat he felt it, a steady, ancient echo, like a massive engine humming somewhere in the distance. Light swirled across his inner vision, forming star paths that made the chamber tremble gently. Aralai inhaled sharply. "You're accessing guardian memory pathways, remarkably fast." Leon managed a weak smile. "I always did study better under pressure, usually because I procrastinated, but still." Symbols coalesced into clearer shapes, spirals, grids, fragments of coordinates. He reached for them mentally, and one expanded into a vivid burst of blue light. A message surged through him, not words but intent. He gasped and stumbled. Aralai caught him, steadying him with both hands. "What did you see?" she asked. "A warning," Leon said. Approached. One lit up in his proximity, projecting a hologram of swirling defensive patterns. Aralai's eyes widened. "This is Guardian Defensive Code. I've seen fragments in archives, but never a complete pattern." Leon squinted. "It looks like a cosmic Sudoku." "It is a multi-layered shield interface," she said reverently. "If we can decode it, we may learn how the Guardians prevented the null wave." Leon extended a hand toward the projection. The pattern brightened as if recognizing him. Aralai whispered, "Continue, slowly, show it that you are not a threat." Leon laughed nervously. "I'm the least threatening person alive." The hologram pulsed again, forming a clearer map, lines branching outward like neural pathways through the galaxy. Leon felt the hum inside him resonate with it, guiding his thoughts. Then the chamber shuddered. Symbols flashed from red to white. The floating spheres darted in alarm. Aralai grabbed his arm. "Leon, you're drawing too much resonance, pull back." "I'm trying," he said, wincing as the projection surged brighter. "It's doing that thing where my brain says yes and my body says no." The platform jerked downward, stabilizing the overload. The hologram dimmed, returning to its soft blue motion. Leon staggered, breathing hard. Aralai steadied him, her hands firm on his shoulders. "You did well." Leon shook his head. "I nearly caused a psychic fireworks show." "Yes," she said, "but you also unlocked more than any scholar in 1,000 years." Her closeness softened the moment, her long ears angled gently toward him. Leon attempted a smile, but only managed a tired half-grin. "Please tell me the rest of the training is easier." Aralai gave him a solemn, sympathetic look. "It is not." Leon groaned. "Fantastic. I love a challenge, especially ones that could accidentally rewrite my consciousness." She laughed again, the soft, bright kind he was already becoming dangerously fond of. "We'll proceed slowly," she promised. "Together." Leon exhaled, letting the chamber settle into silence. Despite the exhaustion, despite the looming cosmic threat, he felt steadier than before, because she was there. And because, for reasons he still didn't understand, the universe had chosen him, of all people, to hold an ancient resonance that might be the key to saving everything. Leon couldn't remember the last time he'd slept, mostly because every time he closed his eyes, ancient star maps drifted behind his eyelids like cosmic screensavers he never installed. Aralai walked beside him through the deep caverns beneath the citadel, her long ears angled forward in concentration as glowing runes flickered to life along the passage walls. The deeper they traveled, the more the air hummed with a quiet, ancient resonance, one that responded to Leon with far too much enthusiasm for his liking. "These ruins were sealed thousands of years ago," Aralai murmured. "Only the royal bloodline could enter, until now." Leon placed a cautious hand near a glowing panel. It pulsed warmly. "Right, because apparently I'm cosmic royalty adjacent." Her laugh was soft, but it echoed beautifully in the cavern. "Do not worry, you are not royalty." "Good," Leon replied. "I can barely manage my laundry, let alone a galaxy." They arrived at a Titan-sized door carved with spiraling symbols. Aralai touched its surface, but it remained inert. Then Leon stepped closer, and the runes flared white, unlocking with a sound like a massive exhale. The door slid open, revealing a chamber so vast it looked like someone had tucked a small galaxy underground. Crystalline structures hung like floating stalactites, refracting beams of pale light that stretched across the room. Leon stared. "Okay, this is officially the coolest place I've ever been. And I once toured a space station vending machine that dispensed hot noodles." Aralai stepped into the chamber, all flickering through her usually composed expression. "This is a Guardian archive, a true one. Entire generations search for evidence they survived beyond legend." Leon followed, resisting the urge to touch every glowing artifact. The moment he stepped on the central platform, the entire room awakened. Streams of projections unfurled, spiraling star fields, fractal equations, ancient warnings woven into dazzling geometric sequences. Aralai gasped. "It responds to you." Leon rubbed his temples. "It also gives headaches. Headaches shaped like destiny." She didn't smile at that, not fully. Instead, she studied the shifting projections with growing concern. One of the holographic clusters expanded into a sequence of pulsing rings, each collapsing into the next. "What is that?" Leon asked. Aralai swallowed. "A nullwave model." Leon frowned. "That sounds not good." "It's a cosmic implosion pattern," she said. "A cascade that erases stellar resonance. Entire systems could fall silent." Leon waited for the reassuring part. None came. "So the Guardians stopped this thing before." Aralai nodded. "The legends say so, but the method was lost." Leon stared at the largest projection as it flared red. "I have a sinking feeling the method is currently downloading into my skull." "Not downloading," Aralai corrected. "Awakening." "Fantastic. My brain came with hidden DLC." A small crystalline console rose from the platform, humming expectantly. Aralai touched it. Nothing happened. Leon touched it and the structure unfolded like a luminous flower. A narrow bridge of light extended toward the far end of the chamber. Aralai inhaled sharply. "It's showing us the path." "Path to what?" Leon asked. "To the Guardian engine," she whispered. "Their original defense mechanism." Leon followed her across the glowing bridge. His steps synchronized with the hum beneath them. The closer they got to the engine, the stronger the resonance in his chest became, like a heartbeat that wasn't his, older and deeper. At the center stood a crystalline sphere suspended in midair, swirling with pale blue energy. Leon reached toward it, but Aralai grabbed his wrist gently. "Move slowly," she warned. "This device may attempt to merge with you." Leon blinked. "Merge as in cosmic mind fusion again." "Possibly." "Great, because that went so smoothly the first time." Despite the fear knotting his stomach, he stepped forward. The sphere brightened as though recognizing him. Aralai watched intently, ready to intervene if the sphere tried to eat him or something equally unfortunate. Light spilled out in a spiral, wrapping around Leon's arm, then threading upward toward his temples. He exhaled sharply as images flooded him, not flashes but memories that felt impossibly old. A world of silver forests, a sky split with 5 moons, beings without bodies weaving protective threads across the stars. He staggered. Aralai caught him instantly, steadying him against her. Her touch grounded him, pulling him back from whatever ancient current had tried to sweep him away. "What did you see?" she asked softly. Leon swallowed. The Guardians didn't stop the null wave, not directly. They built something, a stabilizer, a kind of cosmic firewall. Her eyes widened. "Can it be activated?" Leon placed a hand on the sphere again. This time the projections clarified, forming a complex structure of interlocking pathways, 2 converging nodes at the center. "2 minds," Leon said quietly. "The stabilizer needs 2 minds to interface with it. One with Guardian resonance, and one with the royal failsafe." Aralai froze. "You're certain?" Leon nodded. "It won't work without both. It needs your bloodline and whatever ancient signal I'm carrying." For a moment she said nothing. Her long ears lowered, then rose again with quiet determination. "Then we will do it," she said, "whatever the cost." Leon managed a tired smile. "Let's hope the cost doesn't include my brain melting. I've grown attached to it." Her laughter was soft, warm, and fleeting before her expression turned serious again. She stepped closer to examine the swirling sphere. "This is only the beginning," she murmured. Leon nodded, watching the ancient mechanisms pulse in time with his breath. "Then I guess we keep going," he said, "because the universe really knows how to pick its unlikely heroes." Her eyes softened. "Yes. And sometimes the unlikely ones are the only ones fate trusts." Leon wasn't sure whether that was comforting or terrifying. But as the chamber lights dimmed around them and the Guardian engine thrummed awake, he knew one thing for certain. Whatever came next, he wasn't facing it alone. The Guardian engine awakened with a low, resonant hum that vibrated through the chamber and into Leon's bones. He stood beside Aralai at the heart of the ancient structure, the intertwining light of their neural fields forming a shimmering bridge between them and the crystalline core. It pulsed like a star preparing to breathe, responding to both of them at once. Leon wasn't sure whether to be terrified, honored, or mildly offended that a cosmic mechanism seemed far more confident in him than he was in himself. Aralai's long ears tilted toward him in calm reassurance, though he noticed the faint tension in her shoulders. "Ready?" she asked. "Absolutely not," Leon said, "but let's do it anyway." A smile touched her lips, and together they placed their hands on the core. Light surged outward, threading up their arms and spiraling around them like a luminous cocoon. Leon felt his thoughts drift outward, merging gently with Aralai's but without the chaotic rush of the earlier ritual. This connection was balanced, deliberate, like 2 instruments tuning to the same pitch. He sensed her steady determination, her fears carefully tucked beneath it, and he wondered for a moment how someone raised to rule a galaxy had made space for someone like him in the middle of all this. Then the chamber shifted. The Guardian code unfolded before them, not in fragments but in full clarity, vast networks of resonance patterns stretching like cosmic roots across the projected star map. The null-wave model appeared again, but this time it trembled beneath the stabilizer sequence they now controlled. Leon reached mentally toward the activation node, guided by Aralai's precise intuition. When their thoughts aligned, the stabilizer engaged with a soundless flash that rippled through the chamber like a silent heartbeat. The null wave collapsed, not violently but gracefully, folding inward like a dying echo until only a soft glow remained. A wave of relief washed over Leon, though he wasn't entirely sure if it was his emotion or Aralai's or a bit of both. "It worked," she whispered. Leon exhaled shakily. "My brain did not explode. That's a big win for today." But the stabilizer didn't vanish. It dimmed and then reformed, not as an engine but as a lingering resonance within them, a warm, quiet echo that suggested the Guardians had intended for the connection to remain. Leon blinked. Is it supposed to stay like this? Aralai examined the fading light with thoughtful calm. A permanent trace, harmless, perhaps symbolic. The Guardians may have believed the bond between resonance and royal line should endure to protect future generations. Leon nodded slowly. So we're psychic neighbors now. That's weirdly comforting. Her laugh echoed gently through the chamber, soft and bright. I suppose it is. The engine sank back into dormancy, its purpose complete. The chamber lights dimmed into peaceful luminescence. As they stepped away from the core, Leon realized he felt lighter, not just from the fading resonance, but from the strange certainty that he had done something meaningful. Something far beyond the expectations anyone, including himself, had set for him. They exited the ruins to find the council waiting outside, collectively trying to appear composed while radiating unfiltered anxiety. When the elders saw them unharmed, the wave of visible relief nearly knocked Leon backward. One counselor approached cautiously. Princess Aralai, human Leon, is the threat resolved? Aralai nodded, yes. The Guardians left a path, and together we completed it. Leon offered a modest wave, still very confused but alive and proud of us. The council exchanged baffled glances. Leon suspected they would be confused by him for the rest of his life, which honestly felt fair. Aralai stepped forward. The human's resonance has stabilized. His presence poses no danger, and his contribution may have saved countless worlds. Leon coughed awkwardly. I also refrained from touching anything weird on the way out. That feels important. A few diplomats stared at him, as if uncertain whether he was joking. Aralai, however, smiled with the quiet warmth he'd grown used to. After the debriefing, and after Leon politely declined 3 offers of honorary titles he did not understand, Aralai led him to a balcony overlooking her homeworld's horizon. Twin moons shimmered above luminous forests, and the sky's soft silver glow pulsed gently with the resonant calm of a saved galaxy. Leon, she said, her voice softer than moonlight, you were afraid every step of the way. Yet you never faltered. I faltered constantly, he protested. I nearly fainted twice, and I'm pretty sure I invented a new form of panic sweating. Her long ears dipped with amusement. But you moved forward regardless. That is the heart of bravery. Leon looked out over the glowing landscape. He felt different, not wiser, not stronger, but steadier, like someone who had been offered the chance to become more than he once believed he was. So, he said, do we expect more ancient cosmic emergencies? Or was this a one-time save-the-universe deal? For now, she said, peace holds, and perhaps there will be time for us to understand what our connection means. Leon hesitated. You mean the psychic echo? Her smile deepened. I meant the bond beneath it. He felt warmth rise to his face. Right, yes, that one, definitely noticed that. A gentle breeze carried faint shimmering particles across the balcony. The night glowed softly around them. Aralai's presence felt familiar, comforting, like a resonance that no longer belonged to ancient guardians, but to something entirely their own. Leon let out a steady breath. Where do we go from here? Aralai extended her hand. Forward together, wherever the stars lead. Leon took her hand, surprised at how natural it felt. Then, he said, let's see what the universe does next. Hopefully nothing with countdowns. Her laughter lit the night. And for the first time since this entire cosmic ordeal began, Leon felt truly ready, not because he believed in destiny, but because he believed in the journey they had survived, and in the future they now stepped into side by side.